friends, it's Todd from Wayfinder Realty, your host for Sold On Flavor. This week we're going to do something very simple and delicious, and that's going to be tomato soup, and we're going to serve that with some grilled cheese. I'll be honest with you, I was thinking through this recipe and I'm like, I always make this in this giant industrial kettle, so I'm going to have to try to make up the recipe in my head as I go along, to be honest with you. So I'm sure I'll do okay. I've made it a couple hundred times. So I hope you enjoy the recipe. Please, once you taste homemade soup, you'll never want to go back to a can. I get it. I'm using fresh tomatoes. We're going to roast those in the oven. You might want to use canned tomato sauce if you're going to do it just out of ease. Like a lot of things, I try to show you how to make the original recipes, but I get people need to make shortcuts. I was looking at some cheeses in the supermarket, I'll be honest with you, $25 a pound for certain cheeses. It's absolutely ridiculous. Grocery prices continue to get away from us all. So without further ado, let's take a look at tomato soup. I like to cut out the top. Some people don't. It's going to be blended and strained, so it really doesn't matter, but there's something delicious about the top. So I take a small paring knife and just make a little funnel. You can pop that out. Okay, like I said, what I love about this recipe is that you don't have to be too fancy at all. So, cut it in half, cut in quarters, cut those quarters in half. That's perfect. One of the great tests about cutted tomatoes is that if you find your cutting board is wet, right? So you're squeezing the tomatoes when you're cutting, it means your knife is dull, right? I say that because as I'm cutting them, I'm like, boy, I could definitely sharpen this knife a little bit, and I will afterwards, but I'm throwing in a couple peppers too, sweet peppers, just to give it a little flavor. Doing one red onion. Use white, it doesn't really matter. It's just preference. And again, rough cuts, cubed. Okay, I took 3 bulbs of garlic. They're very small, so that's about right for what I'm going to use. And I'm going to put that in slightly later. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to season up the tomatoes first and get those in the oven, and I'll add the garlic right before it's done. So like I said, a couple sweet peppers, 1 red onion. I got dried oregano here. Thyme. Salt and pepper to taste. And for now, olive oil. You can use avocado oil if you want. As you can tell, I prefer olive oil for a lot of my cooking. This is going to go in the oven at 425. Cook these down for about a half an hour. And then I'll throw in the garlic probably about 15 minutes before. Okay, this is them roasting for about 15 minutes. Now I'm going to throw the garlic on, throw them back in. I've let the roasted vegetables cool a little bit. So I'm going to do it in 2 batches, and then you just want to puree this. I've blended my vegetables, and I have some chicken stock here, homemade. I'm going to pour that in. I'm going to let this simmer for about 30 minutes. Now you can use vegetable stock. I have chicken stock and I do prefer using chicken stock, but it's okay if you want to use that. It's been simmering for about a half an hour. I'm going to put some heavy cream in. You can use half and half for milk. I'm going to garnish it with some fresh basil. Just to dash up my grilled cheese, gonna add just a couple drops of liquid smoke, just a little bit. A little bit of garlic. Because again, when you eat a sandwich, outside's gonna hit your taste bud first. So if you season the butter, that's the first thing that's gonna hit your taste buds. A little bit of onion powder. And some fresh, dried oregano, pardon me. Okay, on the next part, I can't help you. You gotta decide what type of cheese you want on your grilled cheese. So I picked a whole bunch here. I'm not gonna put all of them on, but I don't know what my wife wants as well. I have some provolone, mozzarella, I have some Irish cheese, I have a Gruyere, I have extra sharp. I have a 3-pepper cheese, which is Kobe Jack. And I'm just going to mix some of them up, put them on panini bread, and brush the butter on them on both sides. You want to brush your butter on both sides. Now I recommend if you don't have something like this, you can use your frying pan. It's great if you have a weight too to kind of keep it pressed down, like you use for grilling a lot. So cheese is done. Give it a slice. Hi folks, it's Todd with Wayfinder Realty, your host for Sold On Flavor. This week, tomato soup, homemade, and grilled cheese. Listen, once you taste fresh soup, you'll never want to go back. Now my grilled cheese. This is mozzarella, what was this? Mozzarella, provolone, and the 3-pepper Kobe. The seasoned butter makes such a big difference. This is definitely a meal to be shared with a friend in your new home. Give me a call if I can give you a hand. Thanks for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe to recipes. The channel has been growing. I'm very excited about that. I look forward to seeing you again. Take care.